Hey guys, what's up? It's Finch here. We are going to be getting back on the grind recording SPL Black and White games. For those of you who don't know, I've missed about a week of recording due to personal reasons. Unfortunately, my family got hit with COVID. It started with my uncle and my dad, and then it just spread to my mom, and I thought I beat it. I actually went to work 4 days this week, but it just hit me yesterday. I'm recording this Saturday, probably goes up Sunday. Unfortunately, my great aunt had passed, and we're already dealing with some stuff with my dog, who tore his ACL, so it's just been a really freaking crazy week, guys, I'm not gonna lie. But you know what, I am doing pretty well. You might hear my voice is a little hoarse, but no, I feel good. I'm in good health, and my family's in improving health, and I couldn't be more fortunate for that. Thanks to all my friends, in real life and on Discord, who have been really, reaching out and, just being sensitive, caring people. I love this community, and that's one of the big reasons why, all the connections I've made, and couldn't be more thankful. But I don't want to waste your time on that. I do want to say one more thing, a shout out. Actually, I don't normally do these. I don't take requests for shout outs normally, but my guy BLC, who's from Argentina, a youngster actually. He's Black and White is older than he is, but he's been following these videos with his bro, and I think that's really cool. Seeing people kind of go back in Pokemon history and really follow these and learn up. Yeah, and he's tight with my SPL teammate Enzo or Arc1. Nice people, really good people, and it's cool seeing how these games spread and how people take interest. So major shout outs in that direction. And that just was a story that kind of made me feel good. It's like, hey, why not? Anyway, let's go ahead and shift our focus to the game. So this is the ending of week 2. This is the last week 2 game besides my own against Soulwind, which I'll bring to you guys again after the tournament's over. I'm not gonna bring my games during. I'm bringing all the Black White games besides my own during the tournament, and then I'll bring my own after. So yeah. Stay tuned. This is a game between Loden and Starreal, though. Loden, I believe, came into this 1-0, Starreal 0-1. It's tough. Looking at this matchup, I don't really understand team choices, particularly from Starreal, but also from Loden. I know these look like freaking standard solid Black-White teams, but man, look especially at the Loden team against, Starreal. Against Cloyster. And look at, Starreal's team against, Giga Drain, Volcarona. I mean, look at these against Thundurus T, especially at Loden's team. I guess you could argue Gastron checks it, but after Spikes, Focus Blast, Yos, that's what's right. It's just my issue with these teams are they feel like they were really freaking amazing, P and Metagame, some of the best teams out there, back in 2019, even early 2020, but the Metagames kind of shifted the status quo to abuse them, so it just kind of felt like a retro Black-White game to me, but since they both brought it, they both have a chance, but there's one really glaring issue in Starreal's matchup here, in that he can't really kill Skarmory. Skarmory gets up to 3 layers, Spikes uncontested, and while Aladdin only has 2 Pokemon vulnerable to Spikes, one of them basically being not needed in this match at all, and Gastrodon. Starreal has 3 of them, and its Rattata is the only real way of checking the Reuniclus. Emphasis on checking, because it's not even a counter necessarily. Just knowing the teams right off the bat, they're both going to lead Gliscor, click Stealth Rock on turn 2 after protecting turn 1 in low likelihood. Maybe we see a Rogue Stealth Rock turn 1, I don't know, but they're both Rocks Protect, Knock, /Toxic, /Ice Fang, /Wing Attack, /U-Turn, Gliscor type of set, that type of ordeal, lead Gliscor more or less. Spikers, Ferrothorn, Skarmory, unsurprisingly, they got the water type, Gastrodon versus Jellicent. Jellicent would be better in something like, say, Tentacruel, but Gastrodon would be better into most other things defensively. Obviously in this matchup, neither of them really going to play that big of a role, because they're not really running into the problematic, what mandates them on those teams type of matchup. We got Latios versus Reuniclus, Tulak, Xamtu, Tyranitar, pretty similar team structure, but the big thing is, while Starreal eventually is going to whittle down his health on the Ferrothorn, especially if it's not Leech Seed, which I doubt it is, but also because of Reuniclus being there, Whirlwind being there, that's going to die. Everything on Starreal's team can be killed by a Lotus team, but Starreal can't really kill the Skarmory, and it's got Whirlwind, so even if Starreal is, walks the tightrope, doesn't switch into Tar, doesn't switch into Pharaoh or Jellicent's wrong time on Spike, they're going to get whirled in, and eventually they're going to lose. So I just, pardon me, but barring, unforeseen circumstances, really surprise sets, immense outplaying, or a Loden getting counts with the Skarmory, I'm struggling to see how Starreal wins this game. I really don't love the team from Starreal in this metagame state, nor against this opponent, truth be told, because I feel like Loden, just being a veteran Black-White player against a newer Black-White player like Starreal, is just bound to farm with kind of a sand balance, a comfort team. So I don't really know what Starreal expected, but at the same time, maybe he's got some hot techs, maybe it's freaking Thunderbolt Latios, or T-Wave plus Fire Blast Tyranitar, or Taunt Gliscor with Stealth Rock on Pharaoh, or the dreaded Stealth Rock Tyranitar, although if Tyranitar gets Rocks up and check the Psychic types, it's not going to be able to do all that, so we don't know. Maybe it's Life Orb, Shadow Ball, Reuniclus. I can do work here. I don't know, we'll have to wait and see though. Let's go ahead and get on the game though. Alright, so yeah, both lead Gliscor. We're going to see Protect turn 1, I presume. Lone goes for Protect. Storiel is nonsensically risky. No knockoff, thankfully. He goes Rocks turn 1. It's crazy. I guess he gets a little initiative here, but he just goes Pharaoh. Pharaoh's going to invite into Skarmory anyway, so it's like you risk a knockoff on turn 1 to gain a 1-layer advantage in the Spike War, which isn't actually going to change anything, because you are probably going to want to knock those leftovers off anyway, or go for Leech Seed if you got it. Yeah, and he's going to do that. So yeah, you basically gain losing leftovers in the Skarmory, which is going to help, but also isn't actually going to change anything, because you still can't kill it. I don't know. It is what it is. See, here's the problem. It knocks off again, great, but now we see the Whirlwind, and look, already the Tyranitar is no longer able to check the Reuniclus or the Alakazam after another switch. And all can do to this Skarmory is Crunch. I'm kind of surprised Loden stayed in there and risked a Fire Move for T-Wave, but not that switching to Gastron really changed much anyway. In fact, it was worse here because he went for the Crunch, and a drop or a crit could have spelled, a death. Alright, so now a Whirlwind here into the Latios. So at least that's a good Whirlwind for Stardio in the sense that now he can bait Trick, although if this is the team that it was last year, which is a 6 that I used, and my issue with the 6 and why I stopped using it, by the way, was because it lost to Skarmory and it lost to Smurf. Now, maybe he changed some sets, and I'm hoping he did. I'm hoping this wasn't, inspired by my 6, because it's a dated 6, again. But if Alolan knows my 6 and he assumes that, then he knows this Skarmory can roost here. It's HP Fire / Roar, Surf, Draco, Roost with Colbur Berry. But if Alolan respects the prospect of a choice Specs and or a choice Scarf Latios, then he wants to get the hell out of here. He doesn't want to risk a Trick. In all honesty, switching to Gastrodon would probably be the optimal play at this point, because if you let go of Gastrodon, if it dies, then you could use Tyranitar to trap it, and you force it to click Draco Meteor to kill it. And if it roars into the Gastrodon, that's no big deal, because any roar target's fine. Gliscor lives any one hit, Reuniclus can recover up, or just switch right out. Tyranitar roar means free pursuit, Alakazam roar means you probably have Encore, or you just switch out. Otherwise, nothing is really that negative, is my point. So yeah. However, he reveals Calm Mind, which is a really cool spin on this team, because it gives you another way of pressuring Spikers, but it's much better into, say, Power Whip Ferrothorn than it is in the Skarmory, because you see here, especially versus Skarmory, doesn't even get 2 killed by +1 Surf. It's not hitting Power Fire or anything like that. So now we see a Draco here, and it's cool that Stardill got all that damage off on Skarmory, especially on a Whirlwind turn, but then the Whirlwind was worst case scenario. It was Tyranitar. However, respecting the prospect of a Scarf Tyranitar, and also knowing that he's got a defense drop, so he roosts on an Earthquake or a Superpower, then it's a problem. Or even respecting Fire Move, he switches out of there. Thankfully for Alolan, no Pursuit, which is a big deal, and well, getting the damage off on Skarmory is great. The fact that Stardill had to take damage on a Tyranitar again in the process suddenly means that Alakazam has no switch in Stardill team. It gets kills and it's got Sash and it's faster than everything besides opposing Alakazam. And Reuniclus is a massive threat. Calm Mind Reuniclus would genuinely just 6-0 on the spot, if not for the fact that the Latios on Stardill side is Calm Mind. But if that gets trapped, then all of a sudden it doesn't matter anyway. Reuniclus still wins, unless Taunt, Jellicent, and it's Focus Blast plus Ice Reuniclus. That's not going to be the set in this team. That doesn't make sense being walled by Tentacruel like that. So yeah. We do see a Crunch. Okay. That's fine from Stardill, but yeah, the Gliscor is in what do you even do to scare the Gliscor? You protect here, he's got Ice Move, I guess. Dragon Tail, okay, it doesn't matter. Tyranitar is dead to Hazard, so he's just going to leave it and not take any extra damage from anything else. Makes sense, but along the way, the Gliscor held all the way back up to full, negating the Crunch damage. Yeah, sure. The opposing Gliscor is in, but what's he going to do? We see a Protect here, just trying to scatter up to get Ice Fang. He clicks Earthquake, and yeah, that can't be your follow-up to Gliscor. Surreal's got his hands cuffed here. He can't do anything. He goes for U-turn here, but it's quicker than the opposing Gliscor, as we knew from before. That means that Ferrothorn comes in. Ferrothorn takes a U-turn and spikes. It's already down at 60%, and now that invites Skarmory to roost up. And now you just see how Skarmory healing back up. It's a game place to live. There's no way for Stardill to keep the Skarmory low, to pressure it, and that's part of the issue with this team. That's part of the issue with, in my opinion, bringing this into someone who's likely to use a bulkier build, like a Loden in this matchup. And unfortunately for Stardill, who, in my eyes, didn't play any of this wrong, didn't make any mistakes in the player, made a pretty crucial error in judgment in the builder, or maybe due to his inexperience, didn't necessarily think, hey, I handle all the offensive threats, that's what I want, that's great, because I want to play balance, but he didn't think of the defensive ramifications. He didn't think of something more intangible, like Spikes plus Skarmory with Whirlwind. And that definitely cost him big time here. Because yes, his team standalone has sufficient counterplay to Reuniclus, has sufficient counterplay to Alakazam. Maybe not together, but at least single-handedly. But when you factor in a Tyranitar getting whirled around and taking spikes, then it doesn't. And you have to factor that in. if you're expecting that type of team, because Skarmory or Ferrothorn very likely partners these Psychic types on sand teams, and all of a sudden the Tyranitar's, it gets ripped down. And I feel as if you're expecting these type of teams, you got to be more proactive in this metagame. You can't really match this with this unless you use a Skarmory of your own, which is quicker, that has Taunt or Whirlwind, or Taunt Gliscor, something like that. You got to have some way to disrupt it. And yeah, I mean, at this point, I know I'm not narrating with the game. I know I'm talking over what's happening, but if you see what's happening here, you'll notice that this Reuniclus is poised to sweep. Tyranitar's dead. Latios comes in here now. I'm wondering, yeah, okay. Olodin actually took an unnecessary risk there, going hard tar. But it worked on the roost. That actually ended up working. Okay, that doesn't matter. I mean, I would have went Gastron every time. Tough miss there, but yeah, I mean, there was no way. Even if for some reason this crit to Tyranitar, I look at Alakazam in the back. It would have also just won the game basically, more or less. And even now, despite that, there's only so much Latios can do when Draco Meteor makes its attack go -2. And it's even Thunder Wave Alakazam, which makes matters even worse. Yeah, so our Signal Beam can help from several, which, by the way, another dated part of this team, Celebi isn't as common anymore. But it doesn't matter. Yeah, no, that's that. It's Focus Blast there, risky move. I'm sure what I was expecting, I guess, Skarmory, but either way, kind of moot at this point. Let's see, Gliscor just U-turns to take this out. Reuniclus, I presume, comes in. Maybe Skarmory comes in. Either way, the game is over. Jellicent can only do so much. It can taunt around a little bit, but between Reuniclus, likely having leftovers, the fact that Psychic does as enough as it does, you fish for a drop, then you get a free Combine turn. You can go Gliscor to cycle, install taunts, and you don't actually take any net damage from rocks because Poison Heal. No Scald, Nightshade's what it can do damage-wise. It's at 100 damage, which isn't enough to force the issue. Psychic PP is going to come at a premium, but he waits to recover one of every other, and he's going to do the same with the EQs from Gliscor. So yeah, Psychic there, that's fine. Now you leave it low. At this point, you can switch to whatever. I assume the Skarmory is going to be slower than Jellicent, so maybe he wants to, just go Gliscor, but either way, this game is over. It's unfortunate because Tauriel didn't make any mistakes in the battle necessarily. I mean, he maybe didn't, play, super amazing, but, he didn't have any room to do anything. Skarmory just clicked Whirlwind and the game was over. So, yeah. I guess this is a lesson that you can't really get away with older, outdated teams. And I mean, this even kind of applies to Olodin's team, although he's going to win with it here, and I don't love it, but, it's hard. You got to stick with the vet. You got to at least be cognizant of what can be thrown at you. And you got to think of these Ramcafinch, and I don't think that Sturiel necessarily did, so it's tough. Obviously, I think Sturiel's a great player, and I want to see him succeed, but, this game was not it for him, and that's unfortunate. But, yeah, we're just seeing it kind of wind down. I mean, Jellicent only has so many recovers. You see there, it's already at 8 left. It's already used half of them, and Gliscor and Reuniclus have plenty of longevity left in them, so needless to say, that's going to be that. Gliscor comes in here now on Earthquake, which is fine and dandy, wasting an Earthquake PP, but now Jellicent has to take spikes next time it comes in now anyway. So, yeah, I mean, I'll spoil it here. U-turns happen. Ferrothorn comes in and it can't stop Reuniclus from combining, and all of a sudden it's strong enough to where it can muscle past Jellicent. So he's just screw it, I'm just going to keep attacking. Maybe we get a timely crit, but Olodin doesn't even let that happen. It's Focus Blast, yeah, U-turn here. Jellicent dies to Psychic, and now Gliscor, after double protecting, he's also going to die to Psychic. That is going to be that. Olodin is going to advance to 2-0. Sturiel, unfortunately, is going to fall to 0-2. Tough game, really just kind of harping on the team choice, and it wasn't much of a game. Olodin just won the builder. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for more stuff coming. Thanks for watching. I think that's it. Yeah, okay, bye.